Hello everyone. In today's video, we are going to talk about how to win a grant and how to keep a grant. In addition to being a nonprofit founder and consultant, I am also a grant reviewer. I just completed reviewing a number of grants, and it compelled me to do a video about how to get a grant, how not to get a grant, and how to keep a grant. My first point is you have to respect the grant in order to get the grant. There's a saying about respecting the money and the money will come to you. The same applies here. We have to respect the grant process in order to win a grant. For the grants that I just finished reviewing, I came across one grant where the applicant provided one-sentence answers to each and every question. Now, what do you think about that? Let's say you're a billionaire with plenty of money and you're taking applications and you come across an application like this, where they provided one-sentence answers to each question. What would you do? Let me know in the comments, what would you do if you came across this situation? Every single question was answered with one sentence. Now, there may be a question or two that asks for a one-sentence answer, but if a question says you have a 10,000 character limit or a 2,000 word limit, you have to provide more than one sentence. If they're asking for a full description of your program, one sentence will not be adequate. One sentence should not be adequate. So let's go over a few guidelines or a few tips on how to win a grant and how to keep a grant. Thank you for joining us here at the Nonprofit Support Agency. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more valuable content. As always, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Now let's get to it. How to get a grant, how to keep a grant. Tip number 1. If you do not have time to submit a full grant, do not submit it. If you only have time to submit one-sentence answers, do not submit that grant. If you do not have time to complete all questions asked on the application, do not submit that grant. It's better to wait until the next round than to submit something that makes you look incompetent. Remember, first impressions matter, and this is a very important first impression that you do not want to mess up. Tip number 2. You have to be doing something in order to get paid for it. Do not expect a contractor or funder to provide funds for a program you do not have or have not started, unless you are applying for an actual startup grant or seed money grant. And even then, a funder will expect you to have a program or service operating for them to provide you with the funding. And even with a startup grant, you should have some experience providing the service you are seeking funds for. Tip number 3. What proof do you have of your work? Are you even doing the work? Funders will want to see that you are doing something. The experience that you have as an individual does count, so always reference that by saying that you have so many years of experience doing this and that. But in addition to your personal experience, what is your business doing? How are you showcasing that? First, you must have an active website. Nowadays, there's no excuse not to have a website. If a funder goes to your website and it's not active, or you do not have a website, they are going to think you're not doing anything or that you're not serious about your business. Also, if you give them your social media page and there's nothing there, again, they are going to think you are not doing anything. In today's world, there's no excuse for not having a presence online and showcasing your organization, its programs and services. Social media and your website is the best way to market your business to your target audience. Social media is the best free marketing tool out there, and it's a good way to outreach to your client base. So if you're not good at social media, find a student or a volunteer to help you out. Tip number 4. Does everything match? Is the project that you're requesting funding for in your application the same as what's stated on your website and your social media pages? Or is it completely different? For example, if you are requesting funds to provide housing for homeless people, then your website and social media should back this up. It should show that you are doing or promoting that service. I came across a few applications where the company's website and social media listed something completely different than what was stated in the application. So are you doing what you said you want the money for or not? Again, you're a billionaire, and this time you're giving out money to build housing for homeless people. So you receive an application for your grant to build housing from an organization called Newfield Dog Training Charity. What would you think? Please let me know in the comments. You have 500 grant applications to review, and you know that you're only giving out 20 grants. Would you even look at this application? They're applying to do housing, and it says that they're a dog training charity. Now, if you want your organization to provide a wide variety of programs and services, then think about choosing a more generic name. It's great to have a name associated with what you're doing, but only if you know that's all your organization is going to be doing. If you are a dog training agency and that's all you want to do, the name is fine. If you are a housing agency and housing is all that you want to do, then a name with housing in it is fine. You also want to be sure that you have someone on your team that has experience doing the variety of services your agency wants to provide. So try to always make sure that everything matches. Tip number 5, take your time when completing a grant application. Read each question carefully and answer the actual question that is being asked. Sometimes we want to write what we want to write, and we go on tangents and get off track. So prepare yourself, sit down, get comfortable, and read each question and provide an answer to that question. Make sure that you answer the actual question that is being asked. There are times when you may have 3 questions within one question. When you take your time and read each question carefully, you will notice this. And I have reviewed applications where the individual just answered the first part of the question and kind of skipped over the second 2 questions that was in that one question. So be very, very thorough when reading your questions and answer each question. Let's talk about AI for a moment. I've used AI when completing grant applications. It can be very helpful. I can also tell when reviewing grants when AI has been used. AI can be helpful in helping you convey your message to the funder. It can also help you get through a grant application quicker, but you must add the special details that makes your application relevant to your particular program. You can be more specific than AI. You have to be. Your personal details can make AI-powered answers stand out. So remember, AI just provides the groundwork. And then also, it's very noticeable when your answer is 100% AI. If you guys are interested in doing a grant together using AI, let me know in the comments, and I will show you how I complete my grant applications using AI. Now, let's talk about how to keep a grant. First, once you receive a grant, funders will provide you with their requirements or expectations for what they want from you. They will tell you what they want you to provide, or they will approve what you stated in your application that you will provide, and they will expect you to deliver just what you stated. So be careful when stating what you're going to do, because they will expect you to do that. So be realistic when writing your grants. Second, in addition to your program deliverables, some funders may require year-end, quarterly, or monthly reports. These reports can request a variety of information from you on the progress that you are making with their funds. The reporting process is very important. Throughout the funding period, it is imperative that you keep accurate details of what you are doing with the funder's money. Typical reporting metrics can include the number of clients served, their age, their sex, and the race of the clients served. They may want a testimonial and a photo or a video testimony. They may also want metrics from your social media pages. They may ask for financial data detailing what you've spent money on and for what purposes. They may want your staff members' time on the program and the hours spent working on that program and the tasks they performed for that program. Whatever they ask you to report on, make sure you do it and provide as much details as possible. If you do not meet your deliverables, not only can they decide not to fund you the next term, but they can actually stop your current funding in the midst of that program. So be sure to keep track of your funders' requirements and keep them at the forefront of everything you do. And make sure that your entire team is aware of these deliverables. Personally, I like to put them on the wall in my office and their office so that everyone knows what our goals are. Third, and this is one of the biggest lessons and the most costliest lesson I ever had to learn. And that is, when a contract or funding ends, you have to end that program. If you have another contract already signed, or a replacement contract or MOU or a continuation signed, then by all means continue the program. But if you do not have a concrete agreement that states the program will be paid for, you must stop that program. Even if the program manager says they are expecting more funds down the line, you must end that program. Program managers are not in charge of funding. Some foundation program managers may carry a little weight, but contract program managers do not control who gets a contract and whether the contract is renewed or not. With no contract, you end the program. Even if that means you have to reduce your staff, even if it means some of your clients will have to go without your program or services. You can just refer them to another agency that provides that service. The success of your nonprofit will depend on your ability to make hard decisions. Not stopping the program when funding stops can have catastrophic negative effects on your organization's stability. On that note, that concludes today's video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Please like, subscribe, and share this video. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you the next time.